Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Callous, and it is the Callous Draft League, Week 1. And this is the defending champion, Zokuru, of Callous Draft Duel, trying his luck against team captain of the blue team, Zinc. You guys have already seen the draft, or at least should have already seen the draft if you're here. If for whatever reason you haven't yet seen the draft, that's okay. There's a link in the description to that video if you want to go back and see how we got here. If you just want to kick back and enjoy the games and not worry about it, that's fine too. So here we are, and this format is a best of 3. We're going to be doing a different format next week that plays out differently, but let's cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, we are looking at a best of 3, and I do want to note real quick, for those of you who did watch Callous Draft Duel, that we have made some changes between now and then. We made it so you cannot have both baton pass and stat boost, whether that stat boost is via a move like combine, bulk up, whatever, or if it's via, say, a pinch berry. So you can't have, say, baton pass plus Salic berry. So with that context in mind, let's get into the game. Like I said, best of 3, and this is going to be game 1 with Zokuru on the bottom and Zinc on the top. Glalie and Vaporeon, respectively. And that must be a very not bulky Glalie to get one hit KO'd by Vaporeon. Usually it gets built something to the effect of max special defense and max HP, and should have been able to take that Hydro Pump without an issue, but it got dropped. So some kind of offensive Vaporeon for sure, and then I guess an offensive Glalie as well, but only gets the one spike down and then drops dead. So that's going to leave us, of course, after the Smeargle goes down as well in a 5-5. Registeel going to begin cursing up here, but Ludicolo has the rain boost to really put some oomph on those surfs. 40, and then that last one did 39%. Gonna play it safe and slow it down. I wonder if he should have surfed one more time and then leech seeded on the following turn to take advantage of the rain, but he does it in a slightly different order. Does Rain Dance up again, but we're looking at a Curse, Rest, Talk, Return Registeel, which is a weird set. And he's got to, I don't remember the draft well enough, but he's got to be operating that Zokuru obviously does not have a lot of things like Steelix or Ghost or whatever that would just make mono attacking return not all that damn viable. It seems to be working here. He seems to have the right matchup for this set that I'm really, like I said, not that keen on. Imagine if there's just any Ghost or a Steelix or a Regirock or so many things on the other side that would just laugh at that return, but Zokuru doesn't seem to have those things. He seems to have some kind of offensive team that doesn't have the resistances that he wants to have here. And Raikou again comes up short of killing the Registeel, gets another rest off despite the fact that it's been leech seeded this whole time. And more good luck for Zinc and bad luck for Zokuru, finding the return there, only a 1 in 3 to do so, killing the Raikou. Now Charizard is finally going to scare it away, but damage definitely done there. He chunked the Ludicolo and killed the Raikou. But what is this set? He's going to substitute up and then belly drum behind the sub. Vaporeon subs as well, but whatever. That's obviously going to get popped by the attack. And Ice Beam will pop as well, but the problem here is that Charizard's faster. And EQ on what we know is not a defensive Vaporeon based on what we saw it do on turn 1. Not going to survive. Apparently we've got Linoone actually being played, and it did even kill a Pokemon, kind of, sort of, technically, with the extreme speed there, but it was just a revenge kill, and I can't imagine it does much more than that. Any fast Pokemon in that situation. I mean, I guess it had to be a priority move, right? Because the Charizard had Salic Boost. So there you go. Linoone did its job, I guess. And it leaves us in a 3-3 with an unrevealed on each side. Leech Seed comes down, Registeel reappearing, has lost its boosts, but it does get a rest off yet again. And we'll see if he can reestablish any of those curses. This time he gets a bit unlucky, finding rest both times with S-Talk. And when it rains, it pours. Wakes up and rests, but going to be at the mercy, not only seeded, but more boosted surfs coming his way. 35%, we've seen it do as much as 40, so we have a rough idea of what the damage range is here. Going to find Curse in his sleep. But that surf is going to put him one hit from death, and he's not due to wake up this turn. But he finds the crit exactly when he needs it. That is pretty crazy. He had a 1 in 3 to find return at all, which he needed to, and then furthermore, he needed the crit. So pretty darn unlucky that that were to occur there. Or I guess lucky for Zinc, unlucky for Zok, either way. But that was a pretty BS turn. He does try to set up the Lanoon with Belly Drum, but Zokuru, not a donk-a-donk, just going to surf it down, not going to give it a chance. He should now be faster than Arrow. With being faster than Arrow, he's going to get him with the rain-boosted Surf. The crit there didn't matter. It would have just one-hit KO'd him anyway. And despite, I think, Zinc getting the better end of the RNG in this game, it is nevertheless still going to be Zokuru, currently unbeaten going into this set, getting game 1, and now needing just one of the next 2 games, potentially 2 games, in order to remain undefeated in the lifetime of this format, which is a relatively short lifetime, but still, the more matches you go and the more you don't lose, the more it disproves my theory that he won CALLOUS Draft Duel completely, utterly through luck. Okay, so on to the second game. Zokuru will remain on the bottom, Zinc on the top. Like I said, a best of 3. So Zinc, down a game, is going to have to win both this game and a following game. Here we go. So, Swampert and Lax this time. Probably advantage Swampert, but it really depends on the set in this matchup. Substitute and Curse is probably going to get the Lax Focus Punch, which I don't know that he's all that excited about. He will pop the sub, but I mean, the Focus Punch, that actually didn't do as much as I thought that it would, but 35% is still decent. That Body Slam does a lot more, and Zinc avoided a power there that would have been even worse. But he misses the Hydro Pump, unfortunately, in Torrent range as well. Or no, he was just shy of Torrent range, but nevertheless, would have wanted to hit him there with Pump, obviously, and got a little bit unlucky with the 80-20 miss. So they end up trading, basically, and it leaves us in a 5-5. From behind a sub, a T-Wave gets off on Wheezing, obnoxious, and Hidden Power that I assume is flying is going to connect there for like an okay chunk, 31% in a Sandless game, nothing to write home about. Sludge Bomb on Bro, not a big deal unless it finds the added effect Poison, which it doesn't this time. Threat of Psychic looming, but he goes for T-Wave actually, and gets himself paralyzed in the process via Synchronize with an Umbreon that, to be fair, he didn't know was there. He does mean look the Medicham there, but yeah, thinks twice about trapping that Mon, immediately gets out of the way. Zok, after bulking up at +1/+1, gonna go for Paraflinch, does find it, but then on the following turn switches it up to Brick Break and may come to regret it there. Gets boomed on immediately. Medicham survives only because of the defensive boost of Bulk Up. Gets out of the way, and then Gyarados dies to a critical hit, which was definitely relevant. And it leaves us in a 4-4 situation as an Angry Bear goes for its second Bulk Up. And one of these things not like the other. Bulk Up is giving him both attack and defense boost, whereas Harden, of all things, is giving him only a defense boost. That being said, it's his third damn Harden, so apparently he is boosted. And he does opt for rest here as the paralyzed Slowbro representing Surf is going to come in, but Zok double switches very well, and apparently his Medicham is outsped by Miltank. How about that? Miltank actually, believe it or not, doesn't look like it should, but it actually has higher base speed than Medicham, believe it or not. Pretty damn fast for a big fat cow. And all that being said, Zinc is in the lead in this must-win Game 2. Dragonite does hide behind the sub again. Heal Bell going to get rid of Paralysis, but here comes a Focus Punch. He does have a couple defense boosts to help out a bit, but 46% is still a pretty good chunk. Going to be T-Wave here. Zok is going to continue to push the issue and try to get full powers, and indeed, he gets one immediately. Goes for Focus Punch again, of course. I don't know if I like the return there. I think that would have been a Milk Drink turn for me. Now I believe the Miltank is just dead. Substitute is interesting too. I think that would have allowed him to get a Milk Drink off, but full power is going to prevent that. Now I think Zinc is really in trouble. Focus Punch coming down on Armaldo. 40% hits it neutrally, but Zinc really does not have a switch. Wow, and he gets out of the way there. What a disciplined switch for Zok, playing around unrevealed Rock Blast there. I think the vast majority of players would have stayed in that situation. Switching out from behind the sub to play around an unrevealed move is pretty darn heads up and maybe suggests a little bit that there is something other than luck involved in Zokuru's win, but mostly luck. And Focus Punch does kill Miltank there. This game has turned around pretty quickly. I thought that Zinc had the lead earlier, but it's going to be Zokuru now pulling ahead 3-2. Remember, he could never flinch there because of inner focus, so it would have needed to have been a critical hit from the Heracross, which he doesn't find. Rock Blast there would not have been the end of the world on Bro, but it does miss. Shaky accuracy, gonna happen sometimes. T-Wave there on Umbreon, can't sink it back when he's already paralyzed. Heal Bell user dead, so Umbreon gonna be stuck with that paralysis for the rest of the match. And here comes Slowbro coming into Rock Blast again. See how many hits? Bare minimum of 2, just 12% damage, not exciting. Slowbro has shown Surf. We know that it's actually there and not a bluff, so Armaldo does need to be careful. Still 3-2. Dragonite a little bit banged up, but finds yet another T-Wave victim, so both the remaining Pokemon for Zinc are paralyzed, though we know at least the Armaldo has rest. It may or may not have HP Bug to threaten the Slowbro, but again, the Surf threat is very real, and Ursaring comes in on Umbreon now, bulking up in the face of Armaldo. Goes for an EQ at +1, does only 36% in a sandless game, and down comes Harden through paralysis. That thing is a tank as Harden number 2 comes down, but the threat of Surf should get him out of there, and it does. And indeed, Zokuru straight for the Surf, aimed at the Armaldo. A lot of switching in this late game. That was a great Toxic, though, for Zinc. Very much the kind of thing that he needs to not let the Dragonite just sit there and nurse itself back up. Focus Punch, no boosts on either side, results in a 38% chip. Here comes Bro again, and Armaldo taking a nap. See if he risks a singular Surf. He does not, but as it turns out, he could have stayed in and risked it there and killed a Sleep Turn. But Ursaring on Armaldo again. Armaldo has killed 0 Sleep Turns, so I don't know if this is going to work out. A lot of opportunities for Zokuru to break through here. In fact, he should do so on this turn unless he gets a bare minimum damage roll, pun intended. And it does, in fact, go through there. And the second the Armaldo drops, Zinc is going to concede. Both of these games somewhat competitive. This one, close-ish. We don't know. I mean, I could tell you. I could view the team real quick. We didn't see the last poke, but I could tell you in this last game that it was... it was Regice as the last poke for Zokuru in Game 1. And then shifting over here to Game 2, like I said, I thought at an early to mid-ish point of this game that Zinc actually had the lead. I thought that he had his chances and that this was close and this was competitive, but yeah, Zokuru with a great switch out from behind a sub to not get his Dragonite Rock blasted. That was pretty wild. And kind of a grindy late game, not ridiculously so, 56 turns, but slowed down a bit tempo-wise at the end. But ultimately, it was the champ, showing why he is the champ, and he's going to take this one down 2-0 and remain unbeaten in his career in this format. And we'll see if that continues as the tournament goes on. For now, I think it's still luck. And that's it. Appreciate you guys watching. There will, of course, be more matches. There'll be the ones that I covered the drafts of. When they get played, you'll see those on YouTube. And then I'm going to keep covering this tournament, so there'll be future things in future weeks. Lots to look forward to on the CALLOUS and Ariates YouTube channel. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks so much. See you guys in the next video.